Welcome to the Solo Edit Podcast, a podcast for estheticians looking for a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and honest conversations about life in and out of the treatment room.
If you haven't heard, Olive Young has officially hit the US. And if you don't know who Olive Young is, they are the biggest beauty retailer in Korea. They've been around for a while, I think since like 1999, so this isn't some new business or new startup. Their stores are insane and really, really fun to explore. And they've basically defined the modern beauty retail space in Korea and what that looks like. And after running cross-border online sales for the US for like several years now, they have finally opened a physical store here in the US in Pasadena. It's their first of many. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that people were literally camped out overnight to get in. I was not there, but I saw lots of news coverage. There were lines literally wrapping around the block. People had chairs and blankets at 1 a.m, waiting for the doors to open. You know what it reminded me? It reminded me of when like Xbox first came out and people did this at Best Buy, which is just so crazy to me. And while I have to admit, I'm a little bit excited about having an Olive Young here, I just know that it's not going to be the same experience as it is in Korea, mostly because a lot of the formulas had to change to be able to be imported into the US. So, well, yes, Olive Young is here. I don't really consider it that like authentic Olive Young experience. You'll still see a lot of names that you may be familiar with, like Biodance, MetaHeal, Anua, but also you're going to have lots of brands that you've never heard of, which I am excited to check out. One of the things that really makes Olive Young unique is their overall shopping experience in general, and that includes facial analysis devices. I also believe they will have built-in sinks, so they'll have like a test area where you can kind of try before you buy. Just in general, there's like a lot of education built right into their overall business model. The whole thing is really designed to feel like discovery, play, while you're also kind of being prodded and guided along the way. So I've been on Reddit and I've read and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on the whole new Olive Young US experience, especially their global store, like their online store, because that has changed and you're no longer able to purchase the same Korean favorites, which I'm sure is really frustrating for many. And I'm sure some of their favorite formulas have also changed, which will be interesting to see after a few months how everyone's really feeling about these new products. I haven't tried any, so I can't speak on that yet. But I think overall, having Olive Young here can be both good and it might pose some issues for our industry as a whole. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit today. It's no secret that we really live in a society that loves new things. We're all about instant gratification. We're a society of more. And that is exactly what Olive Young is delivering. They will have thousands of products with really cute packaging. And then they have a team that is designated to just curating this experience based on what appeals to the American market. And I foresee that some of us will feel like their clients are tempted to check out Olive Young, or their clients will come back with questions about what's the difference between these professional Korean products and the ones that we're finding at Olive Young. It might impact our industry a little bit, but it's definitely not going to end it or impact it in, I hope, in a really meaningful way. I think that there will be a change in the landscape because it's going to raise the bar on what clients really expect from us estheticians. Think of it this way. Some people may argue, or you might have some clients that come in and they want to know why would they pay $130 for a facial when they could go to Olive Young and they could use their facial analysis device, have a quick, like really informal consultation and walk away with a new skincare routine for $70. Obviously, these people are not our ideal clients, but you might be faced with this question. But even still, I think it's important to point out that what we do is obviously fundamentally different than what they are offering. Yes, they're going to have like great product discovery, trend curation, and really making Korean skincare feel fun and affordable, but they're not building relationships with our clients. They're not getting to know their skin. They're not taking, medical history into account. They aren't taking time to dive into their current routine or even doing like a true consultation. So again, they aren't building that kind of relationship that turns someone into a client for life. I truly believe that the value offer was never just about having access to products. It's always been about what we do with those products and how we make our clients feel. Olive Young just makes that harder to ignore, but it also pushes us to get really good at the thing that we were always supposed to be doing to begin with. So my thoughts kind of moving forward for those that are worried is first, really get your consultations down. Have them be unforgettable. I know I've talked about this before, but I'm saying it again. Your consultation is the biggest thing that separates you from a retail store and from other estheticians. And most of us are still really underusing it. A great consultation isn't just like a 15-minute checklist before the treatment. It's really a conversation and where that relationship starts. It's a great starting point. Second is the treatment room is going to be your biggest differentiator. And it's so much more than just like a clean room and a comfortable table. It's really the experience that you're delivering. Olive Young or any store will never be able to replicate that, not a single piece of it. So pour all of your intention into that. Third, get really obsessive about product knowledge. Olive Young staff are going to be trained. So it's likely that you may have clients who come in and they start asking you about ingredients and brands that they heard about somewhere else. So make sure that you are prepared. Fourth, and this is a big one, double down on those relationships. I've mentioned relationships several times so far, but estheticians who have thriving businesses and who will continue to thrive over the next, 5 years are the ones whose clients genuinely feel cared for. And that means just remembering the details between appointments. If you're horrible at remembering things, write everything down, follow up after treatments, a birthday note, maybe spend a couple of extra minutes after their appointment if they really need to talk. Those small, consistent acts of care and kindness really build loyalty, and Olive Young will never be able to touch or compete with that. And last, invest in your education. It kind of goes with the whole ingredient knowledge, but now is a time to really, especially since it's June, a lot of us are a lot slower. So now is the time to finally take courses that you have been putting off, because the more you know, the more valuable you are. All right. Well, thank you for spending so much time with me. If you got something out of this episode today, the biggest and best thing you can do for me is pass it along to someone who needs it and follow the show so you don't miss what's next. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a great day.